Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to JoyNews Today. We are coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle on the Fanofa Street. We are also on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X Spaces via JoyNews on TV. JoyNews is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Coming up this afternoon, transport operators agree to suspend planned fare increment following Ministry of Transport's directive for the public to disregard and reject any upward review in the transport fares. We'll hear from the GPRTU on their decision to put on hold the proposed 20% upward adjustment. Also, Sandema Hospital, originally designed to be a haven of care, stands in a state of disrepair among a host of other public health facilities scattered across the country. Be our guest in our new feature series dubbed Ghana's Sick Hospitals, where we take a closer look at the unsettling realities in Ghana's healthcare delivery. Plus, the new Patriotic Party National Executive Council disqualifies 17 aspirants from contesting in the January 27 parliamentary elections and also puts on hold the Inshiaiso constituency elections over a fresh court case.
For the number of people who have been disqualified from contesting in the primaries scheduled for 27 January are 17.
And Senior Staff Association of Public Universities in Ghana declared nationwide strike starting today. We'll hear from the group, which says its action is as a result of what it describes as government's persistent disregard for the welfare of their members.
University of Ghana and the Federation of University Senior Staff Association, FISAG, announced with deep regret the beginning of an industrial strike action by all senior staff across public universities in Ghana.
We have business, sports, world news, and showbiz. Also catch us on all our social media handles. It's for JoyNews on TV. My personal handle is @Danana Aisha. Please do stay for details. The Ghana Private Road and Transport Union has agreed to put on hold the proposed 20% increment in transport fares. The decision follows a directive from the Ministry of Transport to the public to disregard an announcement by GPRTU on a planned increment. The Ghana Private Road and Transport Union issued a press release claiming that at a national management meeting held at the Trades Union House on January 16, it was resolved that transport fares be adjusted upwards by 20% across all loading points of the union effective 24th January 2024. But the ministry says there was no negotiation with the transport operators to review fares. Speaking to Benjamin Akakpo on the AM show this morning, General Secretary of the GPRTU, Godfred Abumbiri, said members have decided to heed the directive of the Transport Ministry pending further consultations.
Mr. Abumbiri, so are you going to stick with your increase? Even if you have this conversation with the Transport Ministry, are you still going to push for an increment?
No, I heard that. I told you mentioned that the minister had asked to put on hold on it. So definitely until we go back to them and then sit down.
No, I'm saying when you go back to them, that's what I mean. Will you still push for an increment?
No, the meeting will decide. But I'm happy he said that about 99.9%. I think if he had made it 100%, I would have said no. But I agree with what he said. But we'll go back to them and the meeting will decide.
All right. Gentlemen, Mr. Abumbiri and then...
Meanwhile, some passengers JoyNews engaged this morning have been condemning any attempt to increase transport fares. They say the timing is wrong and will negatively affect them.
Drivers are about to increase prices. So, my opinion, I think it's the poor management and increase of fares right now. And when government increase the price of fuel, it affects the drivers as well. So right now, drivers are increasing it, and it will have an effect on the youth as well, especially we the students, because most of us, we are not staying around. and we are not having hostels too.
Since they are increasing transportation, I think it might affect me financially, and also when I want to come to town, because it has been increased, I have to double my transportation fare, which will affect maybe the things I'm coming to buy.
I said this year from Madina, Kokasua, the sacrifice for some saying, 20 Ghana. Mema ko adwuma me twa in 20 Ghana, meba 20 Ghana man tell saying. It is a part of menya ni di onanado. Menya ni di, menya no muso go.
Yeah, the transport fares in there, it won't help us at all because we, the workers, we normally take car every day. And the salary too is the same. So if they increase the transport fares, at least they have to also cushion us so that we can also be compensated for that losses. Because if we are, if my salary is small and then the transport fare too is increased, it's not the best.
Security is on high alert in the Upper East region following the reported attack by unidentified gunmen in Boko, resulting in the death of 2 persons. The cause of this latest shooting is yet to be known, as security personnel have intensified investigations into the matter to avert it from escalating. Correspondent Albert Sori joins us with details. Albert, tell us, when exactly did this happen? Well, we're having issues with Albert Sori's line. We'll try and get him back to tell us more on the security situation in this area. Meanwhile, in the heart of the Bosa North municipality in the Upper East region, the Sandema Hospital, originally designed to be a haven of care, stands in a state of disrepair. Whenever it rains, the hospital's roofs betray their duty, leaking profusely. The structure has not escaped the ravages of time, displaying gaping cracks that question its integrity. Health workers and patients say they find themselves in an unsafe environment. For a closer look into this uncertain reality, join my colleague Jojo Corbina in the first episode of Ghana's Sick Hospitals.
It is an ultimate walk of shame for any visitor to the Sandema Hospital in the Bosa North District of the Upper East region. If you were blindfolded, dumped here in the corridor, and a cloth is pulled from your eyes, you could never guess that this place is a hospital. The walls are dirty and the paint almost peeling off. The ceiling is moldy greenish brown and rotting away. The corridors are dark and dingy. The medical superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Opoku, is unhappy with the state of the hospital, but he's also very worried about the safety of nurses and patients because of the gaping cracks in the walls.
When it rains, almost all the walls leak, including the medical suite's office. And during rainy seasons, it makes seeing patients very difficult because sometimes you need to get to a safe place to cater for the patient. And we'll be grateful if we could get help.
As the head of the facility, he works with a news team to show the dangerous state of the facility. A substantial and alarming crack traverses the length of the wall, extending from floor to ceiling.
So this was formerly used as a dispensary, but because of the nature of the cracks, they have to move to the other side.
Every part of the almost 94-year-old hospital leaks badly.
So why are you still working in a place that you don't feel safe? And if I ever had an accident or something happened to me and I need to visit the hospital immediately, this is where I'll be rushed to. I will just quickly rush into the consulting room 1 to see exactly what is happening there.
This room is where patients receive care from doctors and physician assistants. But a cursory glance shows the room is not hospitable. Just like the corridor, the walls are crying for a fresh coat of paint. The leather upholstery of the chair for patients is badly torn, exposing a dirty brown cushion. The state of the furniture is so bad that you would rather consider standing to receive diagnosis. The floor tiles are broken, weak and unsafe. Although the state of the consulting room is nothing to write home about, physician assistant Erica Yariga has bigger worries.
Safety, as you all know, it's a universal demand. It's a basic, fundamental thing. But safety in my consulting room with what I'm seeing, of course, no. However, once we are mandated to give services, we have to sit under such conditions to be able to render services to the less privileged. So safety, I'll say no.
Mary is nearing 70 and a native of Sandema. She witnessed the hospital lose its luster over the years. She's passionate about the children's ward, which has also deteriorated.
Ranking member on the Health Committee, Minta Kando, reacting to the story, indicated that he's disappointed with the revelation, adding that all calls on the Health Ministry to actually deal with similar situations across the country has fallen on deaf ears. He says his committee will not rest until such issues are fixed in our hospitals.
I am not surprised because most of our hospitals in this country are in a very terrible state. They are in a very, very terrible state. I think that this is even the tip of the iceberg. Okay? And so, especially the district hospitals we have in this country. And even in Greater Accra, when you go to a hospital like the Ridge Hospital, you cannot boast of a single imaging equipment in Ridge Hospital, the regional hospital. And going forward, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse because now government has uploaded the electricity or the utility bills to the hospitals to pay themselves. So the internally generated funds that could even be used to intervene in these matters are going to be very, very, very limited, because they are going to use most of these internally generated funds to pay utilities. So we have a lot of these scenarios in this country, across the length and breadth of this country. So I'm not surprised at all. I am only happy that the media has started exposing some of these weaknesses in our health sector so that it will be brought to the front burner and we will all talk about them. This is not the only story. It is like that in a lot of hospitals in this country. A lot of hospitals. So when Parliament resumes, we will take that issue up together with a member of Parliament from the area. And you know how we deal with our issues. Not until we get results, we don't relax. That's what if you have followed the Health Committee very well, that's how we handle all issues. So I can assure you that those that falls within our powers or our duties will perform those aspects. We'll file questions, we'll bring the minister to come and answer questions with respect to that particular hospital, and we'll take it from there. But what I can assure you is that the pandemic issue is just a tip of the iceberg.
Go back to issues of security in the Upper East region following a reported attack by unidentified gunmen in Boko, resulting in the death of 2 persons. The cause of this latest shooting is yet to be known, as security personnel have intensified investigations into the matter to avert it from escalating. Albert Story has now joined us to tell us more. Albert, when exactly did this shooting incident occur, and what are the number of casualties involved?
Yes, Aisha. So from what we have gathered, this incident occurred yesterday afternoon around 12:30. Now, from what we have gathered, some unknown gunmen opened fire at the tricycle station where people, take tricycles to places. You know, in Boko, because of the ban on motorcycles, people tend to use the tricycles a lot to get to their various destinations. And so there is this tricycle station, which is near the Boko Community Center. It's also very close to the Boko Police Station. And this is where the shooting occurred. From what we have been able to gather so far, 6 people were shot in this incident, and they were taken to various hospitals. One of the hospitals is the Vineyard Hospital. It's a private hospital in Boko. The other one is the Boko Presby Hospital. Now, one person died in this incident. He died on the spot. Later this morning, a 19-year-old young man who was also shot in this incident passed away in hospital while he was receiving treatment. The rest of the casualties are still receiving treatment. So we have 4 of them. From the information we have gathered, 2 of them are female. One of these 2 females is a 17-year-old. And so that is what we know of the incident at the moment.
Albert, what's the current mood in the town following this attack?
Well, so what happened yesterday following the shooting was that there appear to have been reprisals, because the residents are telling us that yesterday, even during curfew hours, there was a whole lot of sporadic gunfire, ostensibly between the factions involved in the Boko chieftains dispute. And so even after 8 p.m., when it was curfew hours, there was a whole lot of shooting. From what we gathered, the military also had to intervene, and they may have also done some firing in order to try and control the situation. And so throughout the night, almost throughout the night, the residents of Boko couldn't even sleep because there was a whole lot of gunfire in the town. But this morning, calm has returned. People are going about their normal everyday activity. But you get the sense that there's a whole lot of tension in the town because of what happened yesterday.
What have authorities been saying or done about the situation so far, Albert?
We know that there is, increased security. There's a whole lot of patrolling by the security personnel in the town. But we haven't been able to reach the authorities yet. Our attempts to reach the MCE have not yet been successful. We understand that investigations are ongoing into the incident. So we are assuming that because of his busy schedule trying to, help with the investigations, he hasn't been able to respond to us. And so we are hoping that as the day goes by, we'll be able to reach him and get to know what the authorities are doing about this latest incident.
We understand that a staff of the Bolgatanga Technical University has also been shot and killed. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, so this is a separate incident. From what we have gathered about that, this lecturer was shot at his residence here in Bolga. The details of it are scanty, but he is also a native of Boko from what we are told. And so the people feel that there could be a linkage between his shooting and yesterday's shooting. But as we speak, we haven't been able to get any proof of the 2 incidents being linked whatsoever, because the investigations into that are also ongoing.
Albert, sorry, grateful for the updates. He's Upper East Regional Correspondent. Definitely we are monitoring the situation. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Let's come back to Accra, because the Senior Staff Association of the Public Universities in Ghana has declared an indefinite strike over what it describes as the government's failure to address its concerns regarding pensions and the reversal of an illegal cancellation of their overtime allowance. The group is in conjunction with the Federation of University Senior Staff, and they say many of their calls to have the situation addressed have gone unheeded. National Chairman of the association, Isaac Donko, told reporters at a news conference that the aggrieved unions are withdrawing their services.
The Senior Staff Association, University of Ghana, and the Federation of University Senior Staff Association, FUSAG, announced with deep regret the beginning of an industrial strike action by all senior staff across public universities in Ghana. This avoidable decision has been occasioned by government's continuing disregard for the welfare of university senior staff concerning critical issues of pensions and conditions of service. At the 17th National Executive Council meeting held on 25th of November 2023, SSA UOG learned with great shock and disappointment that government has failed upon several prompts to release the Tier 2 pension contributions of our members to the Board of Trustees for effective management since February 2023. Despite our immediate plea to the government for the release of these funds, they have refused to comply, leading to this unfortunate situation. Government has failed on several occasions to release our pension contributions on time. The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission directed university management to cut off overtime allowance for weekend and holiday work, in which creates hardship for our members. This unilateral alteration of our conditions of service is against the Labour Act and our agreed upon conditions of service. The unions, that is FUSAG and Senior Staff Association, therefore demand the following. 1, government must, as matter of urgency, pay all outstanding contributions together with the appropriate interest from March to December 2023 using 3% penalty rate as stated by the Pensions Act at 766 section 64. 2, government must, as matter of urgency, do the recalculation of our accrued interest on Tier 2 pension from 2010 to 2016 as agreed upon in the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the association and government on July 25th, 2022. Again, we are also demanding that all outstanding arrears should be paid to our retired pensioners. Lastly, we also demand immediate withdrawal of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and GTEC letters dated November 7th and 20th, 2023, respectively, which illegally eliminated overtime allowance for senior staff of public universities. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we hereby officially declare an indefinite strike action across Ghana without any further delay.
The New Patriotic Party has disqualified some 17 aspirants from contesting in the January 27 party parliamentary primaries. The decision was taken at a National Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. General Secretary of the party, Justin Kodia Frimpong, who's been breaking down the numbers in an address to the media after the meeting, said elections in Shiaosu constituency have also been put on hold.
The National Executive Committee took the report from the vetting committee and the National Appeals Committee and also took notice of some development after the vetting. So as it stands now, we have total number of 376 men and women who picked forms to contest. The new development is that we have one court case. The party has been served with a writ and also an application for interlocutory injunction with respect to Inshaeso. And for that matter, elections in Inshaeso constituency has been stand down until the court process has been addressed. For the number of people who have been disqualified from contesting in the primaries scheduled for 27 January are 17. Those who have been cleared to contest by the National Executive Committee are 325. Those who have stepped down are 3. Those who are going unopposed are 30. So in all, we have 376. The details will be made available through the press release the National Party will issue any moment from now.
The General Secretary also says the party has found a way around the suspended Sonyoin East constituency. He gave a green light for elections to be held there as well. A high court in Sonyoin in May 2022 ordered the party to set aside the album used for the constituency elections following an injunction by some aggrieved members. But Justice Kodie says the party has resolved that matter.
The committee also talked about matter pending in Sunyani East. As you may recall, the High Court annulled the album of Sunyani East constituency. So today, upon several deliberations by the National Executive Committee and in our attempt to ensure peace and stability in Sunyani East constituency, the National Executive Committee has directed that the constituency album that existed in 2018, which has the polling station executives, is the album that we are going to use in this current dispensation. And where people have died or people have traveled, the National Party, in consultation with the regional party and the committee that has been established, will do elections in those vacant positions. Again, the National Executive Committee shall appoint people to act as acting electoral area coordinators and acting constituency executive to further notice. Finally, I'll go back to the Inshaeso constituency that I made a statement that the party has received a writ of sermon and application for interlocutory injunction with respect to Mr. Kennedy Kwesi Kankam, and the party legal team will respond accordingly in due course.
Away from politics, road construction has resumed in at least 4 communities in Oforiko municipality in the Ashanti region. JoyNews reported the bumpy, dusty and pothole-induced road network, which poses health and safety risks to the communities, especially pregnant women. The construction is expected to cover 15 kilometers of critically deplorable roads in the areas to ameliorate the impact.
For several years, residents of Oforiko in the Ashanti region have had to endure the deplorable road network. The frustrated residents say they have lost hope as they recount several failed promises for construction of their roads. Commuters, especially pregnant women, endure body pains from the bumpy road as motorists spend more on vehicle repairs and maintenance. The situation, highlighted by the JoyNews team, caught the attention of authorities. Behind me are contractors of MJB Construction Limited. The project being carried out here in Apiedu, and also some parts of community inner roads in Donyina form part of the 15 kilometers of road construction project being carried out in serious and critical deplorable roads in the Oforiko municipality. From what we have seen and also from what we have been told, the project started weeks ago. Municipal Chief Executive Abraham Kwame Entry says the Assembly is concerned about the plight of residents in plying the deplorable roads in Ayeduase, Ayija, Buedi, Kokobin, Didiako, Apiedu and Damina. He has assured the completion of the road construction in 6 months.
and I have been there severally. If you look at the rate at which he's moving, we expect that his 6 months period would be enough for him to finish the project. Apart from that, we also have a budget contractor around the F&F hotel infrastructure there. There were serious potholes on the Susanso Ahensan Road. If you check it now, you see that it's improved massively. And then the Aketego affordable area too, that has also improved. The Aprade Junction Road has also improved significantly. So we expect that when those projects at Emina and FIFA Junction is completed, then we would have given a huge boost as far as our road transportation is concerned.
Ordinarily, this road project is supposed to be a happy news or a good news for the people who live around here and the residents who live around these deplorable roads. However, the feeling seems to be a mixed one because according to residents, the people that we have engaged, this is not the first time that they have seen construction works begin on the road. And so they are somehow forced or pushed to believe that it is for electoral fortunes.
Because it's because of the elections. We have endured this long enough. It's good that the MP backed off from contesting again.
We only see contractors when elections are approaching. The last 4 years, the gutters they constructed have collapsed.
The MC is, however, confident the project will be completed in the stipulated time.
My assurance is that I, myself, the regional minister, the honourable member of parliament, we met the contractor. He's received his contract. He assured us this is what he will do. Subsequently, when I look at the kind of mobilization he has done on site and the rate at which the work is ongoing, I am so much convinced in 6 months it will be done. For January to December, it's enough time for people to assess us.
Foriko municipality is one of the monumental municipalities in the Ashanti region because it has the numbers advantage. And so one can imagine how a good and a proper road network is going to be beneficial to the people who live around these roads. And so for residents, unless they see the finished product, they are not going to sing praises. Reporting for JoyNews, my name is Clinton Yabwa.
The studio in Accra. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Let's take a break on JoyNews Today. When we return, we'll bring you business.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Government's quest to sustain inflation decline to reach 15% by end of year may come under threat. Now, it follows reports some commercial transport operators are working to increase fares from Monday. George Yafe reports.
The Ghana Revenue Authority will in the coming days start enforcing the 5 new tax acts. Key among them is the VAT Amendment Bill, which may result in motor premiums going up by more than 30%. Now, this may force transport operators to also adjust fares, which may end up increasing the cost of foodstuffs that are transported to the market. This could also result in the cost of living going up, which may impact on inflation rate. This because the Ghana Statistical Service recently indicated that if government wants to check inflation rate, it may have to focus on reducing the cost of foodstuffs on the market. December inflation rate currently stands at 23.2%. But there's another development that could impact inflation rate badly going forward. That is the VAT on utility tariffs. Joy Business is also learning that due to these developments and threat to inflation rate rising, the Bank of Ghana could be forced to freeze any significant reduction in the policy rate, a move that might go a long way to increase the cost of credit. Some have argued that if government is really committed to reducing inflation rate in the coming months, then maybe it might have to hold on to some of these taxes taking effect in the coming days.
George, you have filed that report. Now, government says it is working to establish a refinery for manganese produced in Ghana soon. According to Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Jinapo, government, in collaboration with the Ghana Manganese Company, has kick-started engagement and processes to explore various avenues to add value to manganese in the country. He was speaking at the Ghana Chamber of Mines breakfast meeting.
In terms of value addition generally, we are working around the clock to secure a London Bullion Marketing Association certification for our refineries established here in Ghana. We are also working with the Ghana Manganese Company to establish a refinery for the manganese we produce here in Ghana. We were in China last year, as you may be aware, and we've negotiated with the parent company of Ghana Manganese Company, TMI, for them to invest some $400 million United States dollars in constructing a refinery in our country and ultimately ensure that we no longer export our manganese in their raw form. And indeed, we also continue to work on local content and local participation through a periodic review of the procurement list in consultation with the Ghana Chamber of Mines, and as well as our quest to ensure that Ghanaian mining companies list on the Ghana Stock Exchange. And we take the view that it is only through the listing of mining operations or companies on the Ghana Stock Exchange that we can create here in our country indigenous participation in the mining industry of our country, which will ensure that whatever prosperity or profits arise out of this industry is shared and participated in by Ghanaians. And so we are working with the Ghana Chamber of Mines to have a situation where mining companies list on the Ghana Stock Exchange. That is how it was done in South Africa. That's how it's been done in China. That's how it's been done in Australia and Canada and the rest. These countries insist on the listing of mining companies on their various or respective national stock exchanges. And we want to do same here. But we want to do that in close collaboration with the Ghana Chamber of Mines so we don't disturb the investment climate in our country.
And that's it for business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Sports next.
Let's do sports now on JN Today. My name is Harun Mubarak. Now, the Black Stars face the Pharaohs of Egypt today in a must-win encounter after the disappointing 2-1 loss to Cape Verde. Meanwhile, the Egyptians are also eager to bounce back after the draw against Mozambique, making tonight's match a promising encounter. Now, Ghana attacker Jordan Ayew and head coach Chris Hughton spoke ahead of the match.
And everyone that plays football, this is bread and butter, and everyone gives his 100%. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes things don't go your way. But I think we need to do more, that's for sure. And we are ready to do more, and we're going to do more. So nobody should worry about that. And tomorrow is a big day, and we know that it's a big day, and we know how much it means to Ghanaians. And for we ourselves personally, we want to perform. We want to perform in this tournament. We didn't just come here just to visit Abidjan. We came here to perform well. So we'll see tomorrow, and we're ready. And you cannot. I wouldn't agree when you people say people lack commitment. Or no one lacks commitment. Everyone is fully committed. Just that sometimes things go your way, things don't go your way. But you need to force things. And tomorrow we're going to force things. And
that the Black Stars in this same position throughout the years have been able to come through victorious in the second game. It is something that I am aware of, but I think the biggest motivation for the players is that we are here. We didn't get the result we needed in the first game. This is the motivation we need for the second game. We want to do well in this competition. This is the motivation that we need for this game. We are up against a big team, successful team in Egypt. This is the motivation. And probably more than anything is we are aware of expectations. We have a wonderful support behind us and always do. And there isn't one player in the squad, and Jordan's here, having played in AFCONs before and represented Ghana for so many years. There isn't one player in this squad that isn't aware of what this game means, and they're the biggest motivations that we can give to the players.
Joy Sports Muftar and Abila Abdullah is in Abidjan. He watched Egypt's final training session and came through with this report.
The Pharaohs of Egypt are holding their final training session ahead of that second match day in the African Cup of Nations against Ghana. Mohamed Salah and his teammates got a draw on match day 1 against Mozambique, and they are charged up ahead of that contest against Ghana because it is a game that potentially could put them in a very difficult corner of securing qualification to the next round of the African Cup of Nations. A win for Ghana gives Ghana an opportunity of also qualifying to the next phase of the competition, and that will leave Egypt with only a point. And they're putting their final touches together to ensure that the game tomorrow is a game that their head coach has described as a final, because in his opinion, Ghana has got so much quality and they will need to be at their best. They need to be hungry, they need to be very aggressive if they are to get anything out of that game against Ghana. Mohamed Salah arrived to massive cheers from journalists here because of what he's been doing for African football and for Liverpool Football Club. And would he be able to do it for the Pharaohs? Many people actually say that he's arguably one of the best talents to come from Egypt, and his legacy would only be cemented if he's able to at least win the African Cup of Nations. Individually, he's been incredible, but collectively with the team, they haven't been able to win anything. And Mohamed Salah and his charges would need to rise to the occasion on Thursday against Ghana to put him on a pedestal of leading this group of players to winning its 8th African Cup of Nations title. Muftar Nabila Abdullah reporting.
That's how we end the sports segment on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak.
Time now for showbiz, and today the other Ibrahim is not here, so I'm wearing his cap. That makes me Ibrahim Square, right? Welcome to showbiz. Gospel songstress Dinah Hamilton has hinted at a possible album release this year. The Doing of the Lord. Singer Dinah, who launched the 10th edition of her Awake experience, in an interview with IB, said Ghanaians should expect more from her.
After Work in Progress, the I Believe album and Money Your, when that album came, it took us a while before we did the Grace album.
But not this long. See, I've been monitoring.
I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you.
But not that long.
Yeah, but we're still working. We're releasing the songs timing, and that's why we're saying, who knows, maybe this year or Don't tell me.
Look at the camera and tell your people. It's not me. I'm asking for them.
We're always giving. We're always giving songs. We're always doing. Listen, this year we've done Say Amen, and I mean last year was Say Amen, and this year is here. Who knows? There'll be more. Who knows? Could be an album, but we're always working, and as the Lord allows it, we bring it.
The ones you have that you haven't yet released, together with the 2 you have released last year and this year, can it make an album?
Oh, listen, my meditation is not on an album. Eraviye is not on an album. The Name of Jesus is not on an album. The Doing of the Lord is not on an album. And more that are there, already recorded, that are not on the album and have not been released yet. Yeah, if we wake up tomorrow and want to release an album, we can, but we'll see.
Rapper Lyrical Joe, in an interview on Daybreak Hits with DJ Slim, says he will be focusing on doing more singing this year. The rapper, who won the Best Rap Performance at the VGMA in 2022, told DJ Slim that there are other parts of music that he will want to learn for him to be an all-round musician, and singing is one of them.
Down the rap to get more attention? No. The rap gave me enough attention. I mean, I won rapper of the year in this country with rap music. I wouldn't say I'm toning rap down to get attention. The rap gave me attention, but it's about, the music is broad. It's about entering
different size
and different spaces. So definitely I need to have artillery for every single space.
Okay.
I need to have this for that, and this is one of the things that I'm doing this year. I mean, I've spent a lot of years rapping as well, just giving the rap fans what they love strictly. I'm not saying this year I'm not going to give them what they love as well, but this is the journey where I am much more, geared towards this year.
Okay.
And that's a wrap up the bulletin this afternoon on ending Joy Showbase on Joy News Today. Log on to myjoyonline.com. There's more of the news and updates of all the developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.